Well, hello everyone. I have not posted for a while since I got over being sick with the flu. It's just a lot to do to make these videos, and sometimes I just don't have time, but I wanted to try to do one today while I'm on my break. And just a little update after I got over the flu. It went from virus to bacteria. And so this last weekend, I also struggled a little bit because it turned bacterial, and I didn't realize it for a couple of days. But I went on a run. I was like, I cannot run. I have no energy. And I was like, oh, probably have bacteria. I can see that looking at the blood as well. I like to use natural antibiotics. So I started taking the Swanson brand garlic cayenne supplement, and after 2 doses it knocked it out. And I'm still taking it because I like to take it a few days extra just to make sure I get it all. But I like to use that as kind of like my natural antibiotic. Now sometimes we have to take the prescription or medical antibiotics because it's just too severe. But I always try to avoid that, and I only will use those as a very last resort. I think the last time I took any type of medical antibiotics was 10 years ago. It totally destroys your gut, causes a lot of candida overgrowth, and will cause a lot of those bad bacteria to repopulate when you're done. So you really want to avoid those. I would only use them as a last resort. There's another one I like. Sometimes I'll use these too, like a Now brand cayenne, and then you can mix it with this Protocol for Life Balance garlic. You can combine the two together. I have these in my office as well. But at home, I just use the Swanson brand, and I take 2 capsules 2 times a day with food. If you're really sick, you may want to increase it to 3 times per day for anywhere from 3 days to 1 week, depending on the severity. I've just been doing 2 capsules twice a day, and I'll probably do it, I did it this morning, and I'll probably do it tomorrow, and then I'll be done. Because it wasn't that bad, and I knocked it out pretty quickly. So also being a practitioner, I just want to let you know a few things about that. Holistic health, there's no like quick fixes, magic wands, or here, take this medication to treat your symptom and oh great, it went away or it went down, or like your blood pressure goes down right away. But it's still, there's synthetic chemicals that you're putting in your body, and they're still not getting to the root cause and healing and repairing. So that's what we like to do in holistic health. And sometimes that can take a bit of work. Sometimes I'll have people come here, it's pretty easy to figure out. Sometimes they have 10 things wrong with them, and it can be a process, and we'll have to test protocols out, tweak them along the way. Like for example, people with gut health issues, or they're constipated, and I'll put them on probiotics, fiber, digestive enzymes, but then their bloating gets worse. Well, if that happens, that is almost a positive telltale sign that they have small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. The fiber and probiotics will actually make that worse because it feeds the bad bacteria. So when that happens, we have to get them off the fiber and probiotics for a while and first kill all the bad bacteria in their small intestines. So I often will go by symptoms. Sometimes I get an indicator right away, sometimes we're not sure. You can only be for sure if you do a breath test, and usually the GI doctors submit to that. But it can be a process to even get tested for that. A lot of times they don't like to test for it. It can take a long time to get into a GI doctor, or they want to test other things first. So I often will go by symptoms, and I use the Amy Myers Microbe Clear for that. Let me show you. This one works really well, and it helps get rid of that small intestinal bad bacteria. Even if you have other types of bad bacteria in your gut, it works really well. She's a medical doctor who came up with this blend. So those are just some examples, or someone will have so many things wrong with them that we cannot cover it all in one appointment. That's why I like to work with people more long-term, monitor them, retest, peel back layers of the health onion. And so you have to be patient because you gradually got sick over time. And so it's going to be a process of gradually healing, repairing your internal microbiome and healing those wounds. And so it can take some time and consistency. Sometimes after 2 weeks, if people aren't getting results, they're like, oh, it's not working. I'm like, well, it didn't take you 2 weeks to get sick either. And as holistic practitioners, we have to use our brain and think on the spot. And everyone's a little bit different and an individual. So we think right when you're in here with us, and we're using our brain based on your symptoms, what you're telling us, what the testing shows in your urine, saliva, and blood, and we're trying to develop the best protocols for you to get a good start. Sometimes people have a lot of acid reflux and heartburn. I had an 89-year-old. We got her off of omeprazole right away. She was able to do that. Others you have to wean off gradually, and it can be a process. Also with how much good acid to put back in the stomach, because when you have heartburn and acid reflux, that's low stomach acid, not too much. So when you're blocking that with the PPIs, it just makes the problem worse and causes malabsorption and a lot of deficiencies. But some people have so much inflammation, we have to put the coders and soothers back in first to soothe that inflammation while we're trying to put back in the good acid. And some people need more, some need less, and some it takes longer to get off the PPIs than others. So that's when you have to pay attention to your own body, because you're with yourself 24 hours a day. I'm not inside your body. I don't live with you. So practitioners give tools, and it may not always be spot on. And that's when you're going to have to listen to your body and what it's telling you, and how quickly to wean off something or to transition, and keep in touch with your practitioner about it as well. But don't expect them to know every single detail, because we don't. We make good educated guesses, and based on our knowledge, experience, wisdom, and what your test results show. So anyways, you're your own best healthcare practitioner, and naturopaths and holistic practitioners just give you those tools and the guidance. But like I said, you're with yourself every day, 24 hours a day, and you have to really be in tune to your own body and your own system. And so I treat myself all the time because I'm very in tune to my own body, and I know what to do, when to back off, when to push it a little bit more, what I might need. And that's what I try to teach people, how to be in tune with their own bodies and their own system. So anyways, I hope you're staying healthy and well this winter and doing a great job. And don't get too sick, or don't get sick at all. All right, have a great day.